السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. بلغ رسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة. جزاكم الله خيرا من respect brothers and sisters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you, all of us. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to surround us with His favor. Brothers and sisters, inshallah, as we continue to talk about some of the barriers that our youth are going through. And today we're going to be talking about an important aspect of that, which that I think almost anybody would recognize this is an important barrier that many of our youth brothers and sisters, they have the lack of finding role models. And I think this is one of the major problems that the people nowadays, not just the youth, the people nowadays are going through. They're not following the right role models. And yeah, the question that many people that tend to ask, who are they following? Who are they watching? Who are they trying to be like? Who are they listening to? And there is one fact that no one can deny that by nature, human beings like to follow. All of us, we like to follow someone else. Maybe you don't admit it, but at the end of the day, you are following someone else, the way you behave, the way you talk, in the way you function, in your goals in life, in the way you dress, in the way you speak with people. All of these things, all these attributes that you have, technically, whether you like it or not, you have absorbed it from somewhere else, and you have. Otherwise, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? Obviously, you heard someone talk like this, so you like that the way he talked, and then you implemented it. Maybe you listened to something and you saw someone listen to something, and then now you're listening to them. You saw someone behaving in such a way, then now you're behaving that way. So all of us have role models, whether we like it or not, and by nature, human beings like to follow. And by that fact, by that fact, we can admit that why the Sahaba of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam were the best. Why? Because they were following the best of the role models of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. That all you who believe, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had a great example, a great role model for those who want to follow. And and the problem that we are seeing is of I would say of three levels. Level number one is like I mentioned, people are not following the right people. People are not, they're finding the trash of the people to be their role model. That's number one. The second thing is that even the people who are righteous, people who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, though people who are have the right attributes, they're not presenting themselves in the right way, in a way that people can absorb, or they're not reaching out to these youth, so they could follow them. So that's problem number two. And problem number three is that you have a lot of haters. You have a lot of haters in which that they would stab the back of each and every righteous person to show the wrongs of him. To show if someone did some good guy did something small, they would try to expand it and they would try to share it and they try to make sure that everybody knows about it. But the people of the Dalal, the people of misguidance, they can do anything they want and no one talks about it. That's the issue here, brothers and sisters. So, but there is one thing that we want to make sure that we address, brothers and sisters, before we talk about what is the characteristics of role models, what some of the things that we should be looking for. There is one thing that we must all of us all of us understand that the virtues are higher than anyone. The virtues are higher than any individual. What is that? Meaning that our ultimate goal or our ultimate role models are virtues. to be a kareem. I want to be a giver. I want to be a sabur. I want to be a patient. I want to be, uh, a righteous, God-fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All these attributes, all these virtues are the goal. Now, some people, and these goals are what higher than individuals. Maybe we would like to see these things implemented in certain individuals. That's nice. But let's say, one guy or one scholar made a mistake. Allah will cancel him out. No, because we say that at the end of the day, we are and that virtues are higher than individuals. Let's say some righteous guy made a mistake. Should I blindly follow him? No, because virtues are higher than individuals. So the issue here is twofold. There's one that even if your scholar made a mistake, that you don't cancel him out. Even if a righteous person made, because we're all want to make mistakes. Even if a righteous person made a mistake, that you don't cancel him out. And if you made a mistake, you shouldn't be also following him blindly. And that's the problem. That's the problem. The problem here, brothers and sisters, that even at the time of the Sahaba and at the time of Tabi'in, you know, virtues, they do understand that fact. And even the four madhahib, even the four madhahib, the four madhab in Islam, they understood that. They said, كلام يؤخذ ويعطى إلا صاحب هذا القبر. They said that each and every person words can be taken or rejected except Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Meaning what? That the ultimate goal is what? Virtues. Anybody can make mistake. You know? The problem here, and so number one is that yes, people can make mistakes, but also in the same second, if they make mistake, because sometimes the people, their love for a certain individual can blind them. Oh, he's still right. Oh, he's still okay. No, if he made a mistake, okay, you should just justify his mistake, follow him, but maybe that aspect he can be advised about. And that's the problem, brothers, and that's some people who are blindly following people, and it could be non-religious. They're probably blindly following people. They would say, "Oh, halas," they would justify his mistake. They would uh, uh, follow him regardless, and etc. But that's, like I said, both of these aspects are wrong. And subhanallah, I understand. And maybe one example that we could mention, and when as European were improving and they're going through their years of enlightenment, or what we call the Renaissance, one of the grave mistakes that they have done, they have canceled out all their religious um, idols. Yeah, for instance, because they had this animosity against the church, unfortunately. All the and even though we disagree with them, even though these people are considered, they had their own mistakes, but they canceled them all of them out. And when you cancel all the people of religion in a society, what's going to happen? You cancel all the people of religion in one society, what's going to happen? Honestly, you're going to end up having a society that is immoral. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. That they had this, because they had this issue with state church and separation of state and church, and they had this anger against the religion, and they ended up canceling out all the religious people. And then at the end of the day, what happened? That it became a society that almost had no morality. So that's something we have to understand, brothers and sisters, when things are taking into extreme. Okay. Now, the question that we need to ask ourselves, brothers, is what are the characteristics of a right role model? And that's what we're going to be talking about with the. Before I mention the characteristics of the right role model, two things we have to make sure that we understand. Number one is that a role model, brothers and sisters, he is immune from committing mistakes, because, like I said, all of us make mistakes. So just because we take an individual as a role model does not mean that we don't make mistakes. And we make mistakes sometimes because someone is, he's tired, possibly, he was not thinking straight at that moment. There's all sorts of reasons, you know. But one thing we have to understand that it's for role models they make mistakes. So that's and once they make a mistake, that you don't cancel them out. Okay. Um, the second thing is that role models should not have, they should not encompass all the good characteristics of the world must be in them. You see? So they are not angels, meaning that they have to have this and this and this and this and this. No, yeah, he must read Quran, Quran once every day, make qiyam al-layl fasting. No, righteous and patience no, no, he could have a lot of them, but not everything. He could have a lot of them, but not everything. So keep that in mind. Keep these two things in mind. So the number one characteristic of a role model is that they follow what we call al-muhakkamat, meaning that they follow the code things of things that no one dispute over in the religion. Meaning that and things that are not disputed in the religion they follow. Whether it was praying, fasting, the belief of the ummah, the Quran, the Sunnah, all of that, they follow core things that have no one dispute on. Now, if I see someone always going over things that people fight over, oh, I think music is haram, it's halal, because there is one sheikh in South Africa said it was. And I think zina is halal because there is one sheikh in Alaska that said that it's okay. And I think wearing the hijab, not wearing the hijab is okay, or it's okay to show your ears and your hair because there is one sheikh in Northern Europe by Antarctica said it was okay. Following somebody or something that is all over the place. No. So when you have someone like this, he's not a role model because he's running after what things that are distributed. And as Imam Ibn Baz, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you know, إذا رأيت امرئ إذا رأيت امرئ آه، يتبع زلات العلماء فاعلم أنه زنديق. Whoever, if you saw someone always following the bad fatwa of the scholars, no, he's a hypocrite, or he's a bad person. So so that's very important, brothers and sisters, to keep that. Okay. So number one characteristic that they are what they follow the main beliefs of the Muslim. Okay, things that have no dispute. Number two is that he he balanced between he balanced between the what Islam calls for, what the Sharia calls for, and what are what we call the essence of the Islam calls for. What do I mean by that? And what is good for the Ummah? المقاصد والمصالح. So maybe this point is going to be difficult for some people to understand, but I'm going to try to explain it in this way. Sometimes, brothers, when you try to extract a certain ruling, and Islam is very clear in certain things. Okay, but sometimes there are situations where maybe al-maslaha, you know, what is beneficial for the ummah, it maybe oversees what some of the rulings tend to state. You know. Like for instance, I'm gonna give like a wild example. Let's say in the situation when you are in a desert, okay, and you're hungry, obviously eating pork is haram, right? But in order for me, as a benefit for me to survive, I have to eat it to I have to eat pork so I could, not die. And even sometimes, when you are in the middle desert and you're about to die, and maybe you found alcohol, maybe the Sharia will allow you to drink it, not for that, for you to be intoxicated, just for you to get by, just for you to get by. So what does that mean? Meaning that yes, the Sharia states something, but what's beneficial, what the Islam calls for, like we call it Sharia. What is the essence of Sharia calls for? One of the essence of Sharia is preservation of the human soul. And even though Islam called for haram to eat certain things, but even higher, what is the purpose of the Sharia? Is preservation of human soul. So this one, over some of the rulings, and of course, these things that has to be balanced and has to be um, stated by scholars. But how can we balance between these two? I mean, overall, what Islam states for should be taken most of the time. And in certain situations, and certain individuals who could make that call, you know, they make some exceptions based on what is beneficial for the ummah. And again, it takes this very, very tough to balance between these two. And now this is only can be done by scholars. So a person who could balance between these two, I think that's going to be the ideal role model that we should be following. You know, now, a person, for instance, I'm going to mention two extremes. A person who says, "Oh, we should be following Islam at all situations, no matter what happens." That's wrong. Yeah, sometimes there are certain exceptions to the rule. And some of the other extreme who always, for instance, make excuses for each and everything in life. Oh, this is, and they would make they would cancel out the basic rules of the basic ruling of religion all the time. Whether the situation was desperate or non-desperate. And they would at the end of the day, it becomes hawa. It becomes your own nafs telling you what to do. So that's the balance that person should be taking. So I hope that you guys understand that aspect. Okay. The third characteristic of a role model is the individual must have the correct understanding of what of the correct understanding of how situations are, of what the reality that we live in. And I'll give you an example so you can understand. All of us know that the Kaaba, even nowadays, the Kaaba is not built on its its original boundaries. For instance, we know that the Kaaba is actually longer because there is, if anybody, watches TV, there's an arch right in front of the Kaaba. That's actually part of the Kaaba. You know what is there's an arch right in front of the Kaaba. This is actually part of the Kaaba. Okay. So this what happened at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how come we don't extend the Kaaba, and make the walls all the way so it would reach the arch. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he said the following. He said, I am living with people who are newly Muslim, and I don't want to destroy the Kaaba, because this might affect their belief. Like, oh, this is destroying the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they might have a bad impression. Just leave it the way it is. You know. No, yeah, unless the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said, yeah, this is, he said that he felt that the maslahah and the reality of the situation, you know, should ask for that. We have to take in consideration what reality that we live in, what people are thinking, and how they might perceive certain things. And also, another example, like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam once was asked to kill the head of the hypocrites, Abdullah bin Salul. Out of the maslahah, out of the benefits, he said, I don't want to harm him because I don't want people to say, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is creating his own fitna. So he does not want to create a fitna. So the issue here also take into consideration the reality of the situation. People perception. What is good and what is not good, what is beneficial, what not beneficial. It's important for us to know these things, brothers and sisters. And that's what the scholar and what the role model take in hand to think about these things. So that's third point. Fourth point is to the individual of that role model must understand that the benefit of the ummah overcomes the benefit of the individual. The benefit of the ummah overcome the benefit of the individual. Just a quick example. Let's say someone, a scholar or a role model, he's being attacked by kids, okay? And he is actively doing da'wah, calling for Islam, making lectures, showing the people the right path. If this individual, let's say for instance, he stopped to respond to these people, it would make him busy from doing his his core work of life. Yeah, if imagine, and he would stop giving dawah. He would stop, spreading the religion, and he's being sidetracked by all these small points that people are bringing up. So again, he is he is looking after his own reputation and his own his and people talking about him more important and more important than the most beneficial to the ummah. And that's very common. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the situation you have to defend yourself. But for someone to be sidetracked all the time, to try, always responding to others, always refuting others, always talking about others, that's not a role model. That's not a role model. And that's a problem that many YouTubers that we tend to see nowadays, in which their whole purpose in life, how can I refute this person? How can I, you know, how can I respond to this person? How can I defeat this person? How can I make sure that this person does not talk about me? Or this person said this word? Or let's make a whole show about this one word that he mentioned in this show. And things go on. The benefit of the ummah oversees the benefit of the individual. And that's my point. And when you see someone who's doing this, not being sidetracked all the time, definitely take him as a role model. Okay. Point number five is that you will see him, whatever characteristics you call for. Again, all of us make mistakes. All of us. But if I am going to, I'm going to, or for everyone does not does not do everything he calls for, then none of us, none of us would do anything good. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? If you're gonna tell yourself, Wallahi, I'm not going to tell people to do what is right unless I do it. Then you're not going to do anything right in your life. Why? Because all of us have deficiencies. يعني the only person who would have يعني done so is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's important, brothers and sisters, that yes, يعني it's important that we see people who implement everything they say, but also expect that they might make mistakes. And that's common among all the guys. Okay. The sixth point is that there is a balance between, يعني there is the guy is moderate, he's not extreme. He is, for instance, not a person who makes a fear of everyone. And that's a sign of extremism. A person who does not make bloodshed halal, that's also a sign of extremism. A person who does not qualify rulers, and that's also a sign of extremism, because we have almost that nowadays they qualify or make people, the rulers as holy are untouchable, and it's also something that is bad. You know. Also, the seventh point is that he does not violate the basic teaching of Islam. And again, yeah, this is I don't have to elaborate on that because this is something extremely basic. Unfortunately, many people who are following nowadays, many people who take as role models, they violate the law. And how could a sister, how could a sister follow a woman who does not want to do that? It does not make any sense whatsoever. She can be a good person, don't get me wrong, but she's not a role model. She's definitely not a role model. How could someone يعني, follow another individual who you know out in the open commits sins? Definitely not a role model. These are basic things, brothers, and unfortunately, people are not grasping whether we like it or not. And if put aside someone who makes fun of Islam, who mocks at the Sahaba, mocks at the Quran, والعياذ بالله. That's a whole different level. And unfortunately, still people still follow them. Okay? Lastly, which is the eighth point, is that you see that role model, he has variety of knowledge, not just one type of knowledge and khalas. He knows about people. He knows about economics. He knows what's going on in the news. He knows about philosophy. He knows about science. So there's a variety of knowledge that he have acquitted himself with. So it's important for us that not for me to follow someone, yes, I have to have a variety of these knowledge. That's something that was I think anybody would highly. These are the kind of the eight characteristics that we should be thinking. Also, يعني side points here that we should mention for us. يعني يعني if you have written down those eight characteristics, apply them. And see, look at the role model that you are following or those you are following. They have these eight characteristics. That's the first point. Evaluate. Evaluate. See يعني what what whether they have these characteristics or not. That's number one. So don't restrict yourself to even contemporary people. Maybe you want to follow someone who died, and it's fine as long as that. And many people who died, possibly they have a lot, possibly videos that they have, possibly they have a lot of books, and you could follow them. They could be your role model. So don't restrict yourself to somebody who's on the living. Third, okay, try to have someone that not necessarily who encompasses all these eight characteristics, but most of them, or most of them. And that's something I think is better. A fourth point also, a fourth side point, don't expect when you say I want to follow someone as a role model that you should be a carbon copy of him. No. If you follow him, you admire him, you respect him, but don't expect that you're going to be a carbon copy of him. And exactly everything he does. That's not it. Also, that when you follow someone, that does not mean that you are limited to it, meaning that you could go beyond them. And if I have a role model who would like for instance have 10 good characteristics. Okay, alhamdulillah. That does not mean that I should be only a have 10. I could be 12, 20, 30. I could go beyond. Okay? Also, if the role model that the person that you take as a role model, get close to them, ask them questions, be beside them, interrogate them, learn from their experience, you know. And that's all because thing is, uh, it's important to get close to your role model so you could be at least, يعني, get familiar with them even deep at a deeper level, you know. And understand your brothers and sisters, and this is the way that you would implement this stuff. I hope that uh, that many of you got the message. And I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless all of you. This is what I have to say for today. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you. Assalamu alaikum.